All right. Here we are, the Save Games Podcast, episode 6. Welcome, everybody. Tonight, we are joined by Flatcap, Dapper Pastor, Warrior of Light 777, and NyTXSaber, or NyTXSaber, depending on how many words you decide to say when you say his name. How's it going? How's it going?
Good, man.
It's going good.
Good. I'm glad you guys could join. A couple of you were able to join last minute, and I know Warrior, you've got to leave a little bit earlier because you got a birthday party to go to. But we wanted to have you on and talk to you about Blessing Boat and stuff like that. So we will kind of jump right in there. I think we are all past hosts, so we don't have to do big long intros. So let's jump right in. So thanks for joining us to talk about Blessing Boat tonight, Warrior. Can you give us just a rundown of like what it is, your elevator pitch overview kind of thing?
Yeah, it's basically something I started 4.5 years ago or so. I just saw a kind of a need, if you will, for myself even to be able to become an affiliate because it took me about 9 months to become an affiliate. Not a lot of my friends stream or even play video games for that matter at my age. However, I was able to put together an idea through another person that was doing something similar, but it's a raid event that basically we do every single month on usually the second Saturday of the
Second.
month now. And we are going to change it for next month since next week I'm going to be at the Reach conference. So it will be the third Saturday. But it's just an opportunity for people who are not affiliates to become an affiliate. Those that are an affiliate, can still be part of it, but I usually give the new affiliates or new people who are not affiliates the first opportunity. And then once that deadline is over, then it's open game for anybody, affiliate partners or whatever. So it's just a great way to be able to meet other people around the world. We gather people, they go through a regular application process on our website at blessingboat.com. And if we vet them and we like them, we put them in, type thing. So, but yeah, every hour on the hour we switch to another streamer. Some again are new, some are more experienced.
Yeah, it's very cool. It's
That's what it is.
for others who might not be familiar, like with what a raid train is, right? That's kind of essentially what you call it, a cruise, a Blessing Boat cruise, which I think is a cool take on it. But yeah, like raiding one after the other. One community raids one, and then that group continues the raid on throughout the day, right? Which is really neat. I know I've been on it. Have any of the other guys been on in the Blessing Boat? Done a stream?
Yeah. I was on it, about 4 years ago, early on. I had other people that had connected me as I was getting started. So to begin with, I was just doing once a week streaming, and then when it was like, okay, I'm going to actually go and try to stream more regularly, I ended up on there within the first month or two that I started doing that, and then it really, I think it does two things. One is exposure for you to a bunch of new streamers,
Yeah.
and then also when you're new, exposure to a bunch of other people to help you make it to that affiliate level. So I think it does both. I mean, now I can go, and even if I can't make it to an event, I can go see who was there. I can go give a follow to all of those people, and then if I can catch them at their regular time, I now have somebody else that I know is trying to make a go of this, or a Christian in the space, or family friendly, and then I can help support them and even share them with my community that other people are going to go and watch them.
Yeah, it's very cool. Yeah, it helped me. I think it was within my first couple months on Twitch. I found it, and I had been streaming on Facebook Gaming for maybe a year and a bit, and then made the jump over to Twitch, and then almost instantaneously, it was like I found Warrior of Light. I think it was Miss Jellybeans was involved quite a bit back then,
Oh, yeah.
and a couple others, and Ukulele for Worship I met through that, and then that led me into meeting people like Christian Ninja, and then the rest is history. It's been quite the journey, and I appreciated the start I got through Blessing Boat, so it was very cool. Did you say, sorry, Warrior, did you say how long you've been running that?
Yeah, over 4.5 years now.
4.5, yeah.
Since
So
what, April? Yeah. Well, it's been a while.
very cool. Do you have like do you have like an approximate number of how many people have hit affiliate, or an exact number? You might.
Boy, not really. I mean,
Yeah.
obviously, I've had over probably 100 people in streams. I know there's usually every time that we have uh, an event, we'll have one or two people that go affiliate because of it. I mean, we
Mhm.
started out with, the average of 3 per viewer per hour, and now we're up to 25 to 30, sometimes more, depending upon what it is. So it's growing, which is great, and
Yeah.
we're trying to expand. We did something different with Reach, by basically doing the whole day of Fortnite, which was
Yeah.
interesting in itself. And so we're experimenting with those type of things, just to kind of get our name out there and kind of see what happens with it and where God wants us to go. I mean, I could see it going in multiple directions, having more than one a month, but I'm not there yet. I need more volunteers to help me with that type of
Yeah.
thing.
Yeah, that is cool. Yeah, the idea that you could kind of spin it or go different directions with it is always cool. And I'm kind of I don't know what you would put it under in some of the other categories, the other assessments, but like the six working geniuses, I fall under like wondering and inventing, and so I'm always like, whenever people are talking about different things, I'm always like, oh, what about this? What about that? So when I hear like, oh, people are thinking about trying different things with stuff, it always starts my mind kind of the gears in my head going. But yeah, no, that's cool. So in the past, I've been around in quite a few different discords and different places and heard chatter. And one time I heard somebody mention that their take on the blessing boat was that it could actually be, I don't know, not harmful, but what if somebody gets too big too fast? Has that ever been something that you've had, like, that you've heard anybody talk about or come back with, or anybody who's participated, like grown and got an affiliate and then kind of fallen off and not been able to handle the sudden I don't know, fame isn't the
Rush,
right
yeah.
word, sudden rush of new users and stuff like that.
No, I haven't really heard that. I mean, there was a lot of people. I mean, Flatcap is one of them, that has exploded. Chovy is another one that exploded. Chovy, of course, can't be part of it anymore because of his health. But, there's a lot of people there that, I think one of the biggest negatives I've had uh, is mostly about somebody who is not really good at streaming, and to have a whole bunch of people coming in at once and not being able to use chat. And I'm guilty of it too. I'm guilty of it now today. My chat
Mm-hmm.
is telling me they can't even hear you guys. So the thing is that things happen like that, and
Yeah.
you just kind of go with it. But there is the possibility that if you do be part of Blessing Bolt, you're not going to get a lot of streamers to keep on following you. You might get initially people following you, but to get them back to your actual, stream is a little bit more difficult, and it's not just Blessing Bolt that can help you with it. But I always say it's a boost to be on the Blessing Bolt. It does help, get new people to at least know who you are.
Yeah, I don't know that I think that any, like, because we're talking about becoming affiliate, not becoming partner.
Mm-hmm.
We're
Right.
we're not really in a position that is going to create people to go viral in some way from just doing a 1 hour stream and participating in that way. So I don't know that, like you're saying, is, yeah, there's going to be some people that are inexperienced. It's going to show if they're inexperienced, but they're going to learn and grow. And what a better way to do that than with other communities that we have in the ecosystem around Blessing Boat, to be able to bring our communities in there and be able to love on them. And you know I got started early on, and when I went to go, I'd been spending 6 to 8 months watching people before I even went live and was streaming. So you were talking about Miss Jellybeans. Miss Jellybeans, as soon as I said, yeah, I'm going to start, she said, can I mod for you? And I'm like, yeah, sure, that'd be great.
That's cool.
There's other people that will connect with a streamer just like, oh, this person I resonate with. So you're going to pick up people that are non-streamers to some of these new people that are going to mentor them. They're going to jump in and mod for them. They're going to come alongside of it. I haven't seen anybody that just all of a sudden went super big from Blessing Boat. I think there's a lot of people that get steady growth, and they're able to turn what they're learning from Blessing Boat into saying, okay, I can be reliable, I can be consistent, I can make a go of this, and I can learn from other people and be in that community. The thing I think at times, which is kind of cool, and it's okay, so we didn't have enough new people this month. So then we have those who are already affiliates or partners come back in. And when you have those people come back in, well, then my community is going to come watch me that Saturday, even if they don't watch Blessing Boat every time. And the same for other people's community. It's like, oh, it's something extra special. They're back. I'm going to go watch them because they're back. And then people hang out. So I haven't seen it go that direction. I would see it really come more of the community coming alongside and elevating and mentoring and just trying to be a blessing, which that's why it's called Blessing Boat.
Yeah, and that was my
Well, do you
experience
remember
too.
that,
Was the community? Yeah, go ahead, NyTXSaber though.
Well, do you remember that TV show? I don't know if it's still on, but it used to be on Spike Network, Bar Rescue with John Taffer. He always had this thing where he'd go into these failing businesses or new businesses and would just, the first night he was there, he would just cram pack that place, like to the brim, maximum occupancy. Like, I mean, if you think of it, that's almost kind of what Blessing Boat's doing in a way. Like, they're getting, not in the way of they're testing it to see where the streamer breaks, but they're doing it in the sense of getting as much exposure for this person to be able to put the work in for themselves to continue the growth. It's like getting that, they're getting help getting their foot in the door so they can continue. It's like when a mama bird pushes her little birds out of the nest, and it's like, all right, you're not gonna like this. This is gonna seem kind of fun at first, but then you're gonna realize that you got to do it on your own. And that's one thing that I can appreciate about Blessing Boat, because I watched the Fortnite event, and I just seeing that wave of just growth of people just switch from streamer to streamer to streamer, and putting that in the perspective of being new and upcoming streamers. Like, I mean, I was there. I mean, we've all been there, and just having that massive influx can help somebody get to that point to where they start to be able to put their personality out there, and what, like, as Romans calls it, as building their brand and becoming turning their Twitch channel into what they want it to be.
Yeah, you can get like experience from it. You get like Warrior and Flatcap both said, you get that community like aspect of like meeting people that you may have not otherwise have met. The other thing that I thought was really cool was that and like Flatcap said, you're not hitting partner where you've got an average of 75 people per stream where you had to hit partner and it exploded. But hitting affiliate gives you a couple of those extra things that I think are really fun for your community. You get to use bits and channel points and things like that, and have sound alerts and things that are a lot easier to set up. And it just kind of gives your community a little bit more opportunity for engagement and fun and stuff like that. And it gives you that ability to just kind of like maybe attract a few more people and then hold on to them and then form those relationships that form a community, which is really cool.
Well, even if we have a partner who jumps on Blessing Boat and they bring in 300 people that are watching, and all those 300 people follow somebody on Blessing Boat, they still have to put the work in the rest of the month that happens in order to become affiliate. So if they're not putting the rest of the work into it, that 300 influx doesn't make them affiliate. They still have to put
Yeah.
work in to be able to accomplish that before and after you get to that stream. So in a lot of cases, people are already putting the work in, and this just gives that little kick to get them across the finish line. Or if they've been putting the work in and got no traction, it's the kick that now the next month or two they're going to get there.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, I agree.
Well, I know Indy was saying something to me when we did our 4-year anniversary that I didn't even really think of, but he says, I think that there are communities that are Christian that are not really together, that don't know each other, and I think that's what Reach is doing. They're bringing in all the communities. I think that's what we're doing. I think that's what God's doing. I think there's so many people out there that are going, why are we separated? We're all Christians. We all believe in Jesus. Let's all get together,
Mm-hmm.
And I think that's a cool thing. But, there are some people, and I'm not going to name names, that oppose what I'm doing, and I'm like, well, I can't make everybody happy, and that's okay.
Yeah.
That's just how it is,
And
when you run a business, you can't make everybody happy. So
for some, they might not even like. When I started, I didn't realize that there was other people doing this, and
Yeah.
after talking with a lot of people around, the start of like the last Reach conference and stuff like that, and then getting involved in different Discord servers of groups of people like Go Game or Taco or different things like that, and Safe Streamers. It's funny because apart from a few like Susie and a couple others who have been doing it for over a decade now, a lot of us started like within a couple months of each other. So at the time when we all started it, we might have all thought, hey, I'm doing something nobody else is doing. And it was true, right, at the time. And then, well, it wasn't true and it was true at the same time, you know what I mean? But it's really cool to finally see all those other people and be like, okay, no, I'm not in this alone. Like there's other people who are trying to do this, and we can all learn from each other, and we're not against each other like a lot of Twitch outside of the Christian circle, hopefully not much inside the Christian circle, but a lot of it outside is competitive. It's like, don't come to my stream and talk about your stream, or don't do this and don't do that because you're going to steal my viewers. And it's a whole competitive, kind of aggressive thing out there, and it's really cool to see it play out different from the Christian community.
Well, even there is a little bit that I think you're right, but Twitch created something unintentionally. They created the whole process for raids.
Mm-hmm.
So there is, even in the non-Christian space, people that are collaborative, people that are on teams, people that will raid one another. Because if I raid you, then the people that I just came in and that don't know me might follow me too. And when you raid me, the people you bring over might follow me. So there is this reciprocal nature of it. That's not why Twitch created it, I don't think. Twitch created it to keep you on the platform.
Yeah.
But
Right.
inadvertently, they created something that was beneficial to bless both recipient of the raid and the giver of the raid. It blesses both ways when that happens. So yeah, there's people that don't want any part of it. There are Christians out there that are solo and don't want to be in a community, and there's some communities that are isolated. But frankly, if we're thinking about the church, that's how some communities and denominations are already. I tend to see the Twitch space with gamers, we're a little bit more out of the box and a little bit more open. So unless we're theology nerds that think our tribe is the only one with it right, we're excited that there's other people on here and connecting with them. And I think you're right. There have been a couple of different waves, it seems, of Christians going into Twitch around the same time and then finding each other within a year, and then another wave has come in and finding each other. So I don't know if Pastor Susie is one of the OG that's way back, but there was a wave that was before COVID that came in, and then some of us are right in that, right as COVID happened or within a year of COVID is when a lot of us came in, and now in the last year there's been another wave of people coming in.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's been very cool to
Well,
watch.
it's funny because before I even had the idea, there was another person that I really enjoyed. He was a Christian. I think he was out of Belgium, and he was American. But he had just a phenomenal voice. and I really liked him, and I don't know where I met him from, but then he invited me to be part of another a raid stream, and I was like, oh, that's kind of cool. So I learned a little bit about how they were doing things, and I said, well, why can't we do this as a Christian? You know,
Mm-hmm.
the challenge I had with them is obviously, okay, I can have my audience here, my viewers, but do I really want to give them to somebody else who doesn't have the same principles that I do? You know,
Yeah.
of them swearing, of them saying sex before marriage is okay, drug use is okay, you know, whatever. I just couldn't do it. And I still can't to this day, even though I want to show love to those who do not believe. The challenge I have is there's so many people that are part of my community that are Christian that I'm like, I don't know if I should do that, you know, type of thing. So,
Yeah.
but
That's
that's kind of how it started out, you know.
Well, that answer isn't going to be the same for everybody either, or for
Yeah.
everyone in your community. You know, there are times where I and others will go raid non-Christians, but we'll warn our community, we're going to go raid this person. They're not a Christian, but I have a relationship with them, or I know them, and I want to, make their day bright. So let's go
Yeah.
and let's do that. But you do that up front with letting everyone know, that hey, this person is the same genre that I am. They come occasionally. They're not Christians, but I have a relationship. So let's go and let's do something that's going to expose them to all of you rather than
Yeah.
the other way around. And now some people like, yeah, there's certainly genres of games that people don't like, and there's certainly genres of games that people don't want to be around. So the same is true with that too. So I totally respect that, but some of us we're okay with going the other direction.
yeah. There's
Yeah.
it's funny you mentioned that warrior because there is a flat cap. There's a guy that I raid sometimes specifically on like Wednesday nights because they're always playing something very retro like Dragon Warrior or something like that. And so I know the game itself is going to be pretty family friendly, and the guys themselves are not Christians, but they tend not to be out there wild and mouthing off and swearing and stuff like that. So I'll raid them and I'll say, hey, these guys aren't Christians, but anytime I've been in there, they've been so friendly and supportive, and I just want to show them Christ's love, and let's hop in their stream and say hi and just chat with them and just be, the hands and feet of Jesus to their community, and not jumping in and just like blasting their chat with Bible verses and stuff like that because that doesn't help anybody,
Right,
right?
right.
But just
No,
just
no, it
jump in and say hi.
doesn't. Well, and we're all called to different places. Some people are called, like for instance, James is called to, be in Jerusalem. What's going to be in Jerusalem? All of the Christians that were probably formerly Jews. So he's called to that group. Paul's out there going to the Gentiles. He's going into Corinth, okay? So he's going so some of us are going to people that are hostile,
Yeah.
and some of us are not called to hostile people.
Mm-hmm.
Some of us are called to people who are seekers, who are interested. So we go there. And some of us are just called to, you're already a Christian and I'm here to disciple you to fully live out your life of Christ. So there's that whole spectrum of people that are adversarial towards Christ, some that are just unaware of Christ, and some that are following Christ. And so our streams might reach different people. So we need to be respectful of the people in our streams too. So totally
Yeah.
vibe with what you guys are both saying.
Yeah. Very cool.
Yeah. There's a lot of people that, I mean, I look at it. The only challenge with that is you can tell your community that you're going, and this is what the person is. Like, I mean, he's playing a mature game. Believe me, this is not going to be something I usually do. The challenge with that is, though, a lot of people are lurking, so they may not even hear that, and
True.
then
Yeah.
all of a sudden they're going into another streamer that doesn't have the same values. It's hard to communicate that. You can't exactly put it into their chat. Oh, by the way, my community, let you know this is not a
Yeah,
Christian
yeah.
person, So
That's totally valid.
That happened to
I
me
get
once.
that. It's,
I rated a
yeah.
Christian streamer and didn't realize that they don't necessarily enforce a family friendly environment, and they were hosting like a Halo tournament or something, and like within 2 seconds of us landing in our raid, somebody threw down an F-bomb, and I was like, oh, okay, no more raiding this channel. I'll support them and I watch them still sometimes and stuff like that, but we're just not going to raid, and that's cool.
yeah. Well, and you gotta. I mean, there's people out there that say they're Christian and they're not. you know, and I think they do that on purpose too, to bring us in
Hmm.
to have debates. I've seen that happen as well. And, you know, I mean, even with our end of our event, you know, what do I do? We have our giveaways. Do I go to somebody that I know, or do I go to somebody that I don't know to bring them in that audience? It's always a
Yeah,
toss up.
and there's where I think the blessing boat raid, if you're raiding out at the end, is a different decision than you as an individual streamer would do. For instance, on my podcast with the Church Digital, I asked the guest, who do they know that we can go raid?
Right.
You know, and so that's what I want to do. I want to have a double raid into somebody that they know, not somebody new. I want somebody you already know. Let's go do something that's going to bless them for the day. So, but with my own stream, I'll have the redeem if somebody says somebody like I may have never heard of this person, and I'll let them redeem. Let's go raid that person. Why? Because I set the channel points up that you are invested in me. You've spent here long enough. I will trust you to guide us to somebody, either because you want to bless them or because you know they're going to bless all of our community. So.
Yeah, very cool. Well, Warrior, I don't want to hold you. You said you had about a half an hour. If you need to head out or if you want to stay, that's cool. We can jump into our next topic and you can hop
Yeah,
out
I'm gonna
whenever
go
you
right now.
want.
I'm rating you, so get ready.
Alrighty.
All
Oh,
right, there
perfect.
we go. There we go.
All right.
So you're rating
Now
somebody
we
you
are
know. That's
family
nice.
friendly. Tell your community this is a family friendly community. Don't.
Plot twist: Born Again Gamer is not family friendly.
Yeah.
All right, see you
Well,
guys.
thank
God
you, Warrior.
bless.
Have a great night.
Thanks,
Thanks
man.
for joining us.
Thank you.
All right, let me
All right,
give
you
me
probably got to change your screen around here
just
a second.
2
right?
seconds because all I have to do is move NyTXSabers. It was actually pretty
There we
easy.
go.
There we go.
Don't
All
move
right.
me. I like where I am. I don't know where I am, but I like it.
Yeah. All right. Well, and it was,
Flatcap, I
Go
have
ahead.
an extreme appreciation for the fact that you have your hats on display behind you.
oh yeah.
Yes,
Look
yes.
at that. That's hilarious.
I do.
I could not help but notice that when we first started.
I
Well,
was
thank
feeling.
you, because I subtly tried to put it in there just because, you know,
Even when he's not home, he's home, folks.
Yeah. You
That's
just got to
right,
bring
that's
a
right. You
pack.
should see. Oh my goodness, you should see how many I plan on bringing for Reach. So last year, if people were there, they may not have noticed this, but there was a minimum of 3 hats a day because there's a morning hat, an afternoon hat, and an evening hat. And this year there might be even more than that going on. So
That's funny.
you'll have to stay tuned and pay attention for that.
I actually am wearing a new hat tonight that I just picked up. I was feeling a little bit like you, a little bit like, I don't know if you guys have ever heard of him, Kim Mitchell. Might as well go for a soda. Patio Lanterns. He wears an OPP hat, Canadian rock musician. But I've got my Crime Stoppers hat on tonight. I started feeling like I'm like,
Okay.
oh look, I'm getting a collection of hats like Flatcap has. It's not as extensive, but well, maybe we'll get there one day. But I was trying on something new for tonight. But that's hilarious.
Cool.
You should pack a battery pack and a strip of LED lights that you can, when you go to hotel rooms, and lay it out in the background.
No, don't tell me that, because I'll do it. Because I have like tons of, like, I probably have 5 or 6 LED strips that are not being used that I absolutely could bring along.
Yeah. Just throw it in a
Oh
little
my
hard
goodness.
case so it's
Just to
protected.
throw it on a, oh,
Yeah.
that would be so much fun. Just a LED behind with the hats wherever I am. You know what? I'll have room. I'll have room. I travel enough,
That's
and
hilarious.
I have free bags. First bag and second bag are free, so I could just pack a whole thing of hats and LED lights
Displays.
and make a whole
Foldable
display
cases.
behind me in, oh, you know, in the Airbnb. We're gonna have it set up. Oh man,
That'd
that's,
be awesome.
don't encourage me, man.
First and second bag free.
Who are you
you
staying
flying
with? I'll just send them a picture of your hat display. Oh, okay.
Flatcap. Who
That's
are you flying
hilarious.
with that you get first and second bag free?
Delta.
Delta.
That's awesome. Southwest was like that last year when I went, and they're not now. They've changed their policy.
No, Southwest has been like that for ages, and then they changed
Yeah.
that.
Well, it's I have silver medallion status, and I have the Amex card with Delta. So I've got a lot of perks, but I pay up front for those perks every year.
And you travel
So-
probably a lot more
Okay.
than I do, which is once a year.
Yeah, once a year, it would not be worth
Yeah.
the card that I have. There's other cards you could get that'll get you the first bag free. But I get the first bag and the second bag. I also get a companion flight free every year. They also will reimburse me to get the TSA pre-check. I get to go to the Sky Lounge 15 times a year. So,
Nice.
But I-
TSA pre-check was like a crapshoot. It was just kind of random when you signed up for your flight.
oh yeah, now it's really nice to have that.
That's cool. Well, let's jump over into our next conversation here about board games that get turned into video games. I saw an article earlier today, and this person had very strong feelings about whether they would play board games turned into video games. So, like, for example, when I was growing up, in the cereal boxes, you could get the CDs that had like Yahtzee and Risk and stuff like that. And Risk was a big one for me because trying to convince somebody to sit down and play a 3-hour game of Risk with you was a chore. But if you wanted to just pop the CD in your Windows 95 computer and play a little Risk for a couple hours, that was super easy. But so I was curious what your guys' feelings are on playing. Would you rather play, or would you like, I don't know how to word it. Are you fully against ever playing a board game as a computer game, or would you do that?
I think it depends on the context of the setting, because if I have the idea or like the plan that is okay, I'm having friends over or I'm going to this event, there are going to be board games, I am going to play this game for however long it takes, then yes, I am fully committed. But if something's like a last minute, like, hey, let's get together and do this, a lot of board games that are digital now make that really easy.
Yeah.
And not to mention just the fact that there was at one point in time where they were doing stupid well on YouTube and Twitch algorithms of people playing board games.
Okay, yeah.
Because it's like, okay, like take for instance, Game of Life. Game of Life went digital, what, I want to say like 2-3 years ago, somewhere like that. No, I think Game of Life 2 was that. I think that was Game of Life 2, maybe.
Yeah.
But still, I mean, that went digital 2 years ago, and there are videos that I see on YouTube that are 5-6 million view videos because these people are playing games that a lot of us played as kids or young adults.
Yeah, there's that nostalgia factor too, eh?
Yeah, you have the nostalgia factor. The nostalgia factor weighs a lot more than people realize it does.
Well, even there with game like that, or I know Monopoly years ago when my kids were young, it went to being able to play it digitally. One of the things that did was take away the banker who might have been not actually accurately doing things properly, and or nefarious things that would happen between two people plotting against another person within the game. And so it's like when you digitized some of that, you knew you were playing within the rules instead
Right.
of playing under house rules or playing with taking advantage of people. So certain game, and then also they simplified some of the rules where you could do a speed setup of it so that you just like could optionally do certain things faster and speed the game up so it didn't take hours.
Yeah.
But there's other games out there that I played, and it's like, I don't know if you know this game, Access and Allies.
Yes.
I heard of it. Yeah.
Okay. So, like, this was the game I played in high school when we weren't playing D&D. And you could play you could play, 2-person, 3-person, 4 or 5. That's it. That's the options you have. And if you don't know, you're playing the Axis powers, Japan and Germany, or you're playing the Allies, which is Russia, Britain, and the United States. So that's who you have. So if you're 2-player, you're either the Axis or you're the Allies. Well, when you do that, like that game is tediously long at times when you're taking your turn, and it could be an hour before your next turn.
Yeah.
I mean, now you might have to defend and you might have other stuff that's happening, but it can be an hour between your turn and the next time you get to play. So they did have a digitized version. I didn't like it as much, but here's the thing. I can play that online with a friend, and we can leave the game where it is, and we can come back whenever we have time and can pick up the game and continue it.
Yeah.
There's those kinds of things that if you can digitize a game, because frankly, we didn't trust whoever's house it was that they didn't move things when we weren't there.
yeah. Well,
You just don't trust each other with a physical game if you leave it to be able to come back and it's legit.
Yeah, I was gonna
It's
say.
really funny you say that.
Hands up in chat. Everybody raise your hand. Whoever tried to leave like Risk or Monopoly or Axis and Allies out overnight and then unsuccessfully came back to it like on the floor or something, or like a dog knocked it over or something.
Whoever's house it was didn't, accidentally get a little bit extra money or take a couple of troops off. I'm sorry. I'm just being honest about, what happened back in the day.
Yeah.
You're right. I mean, we're all adults here. I mean, we've seen Seinfeld. There's the episode between Newman and Kramer where they're playing Risk and they're just
Yes. They don't
want to leave
trust
it in
it. Yeah.
They want to leave it in Jerry's
Live at
apartment.
Jerry's house. Yes, exactly.
And the whole time Newman keeps trying to break in to do stuff.
That's hilarious.
It's stuff like that at the same time the digital takes away something fun and interesting like that.
You sacrifice
the unique
you
the
sacrifice
uniqueness of the physical
something
game.
when you move to digital, but you can also gain some other things because there are very few people. If you don't know Axis and Allies, you're probably not open to learning it because like we're going to be sitting there for hours and we're going to be back tomorrow possibly. And if you play with me, just heads up, I will prolong the game because somebody upsets me in some way. So I was just about to destroy your country. Hold up, I'm going to leave you there, not attack you. You can't do anything because you have no money. And I'm going to go annihilate somebody else instead of winning the game. I'm going to put them in their place. And I've done this to my brother. But that's like the game too. The game could have been done in one more turn, and instead it was 2 more hours.
But that's the other thing too, is that when you make that transition to digital and you have that loss and gain of the physical board game, you run the risk, and every game developer for anything that they're turning something real life into a game, you run the risk of it being never as good as the original.
Oh, absolutely. Well, even there's a couple of other newer versions of Axis and Allies to speed up the game so that it's not this long, tedious. It can be an 8-hour, 15-hour game. So let's try to speed it up. It's not as good.
Like, take for instance, Settlers of Catan. Settlers of Catan is a fun game. They add a lot of expansions. There was one expansion they added that got so much negative feedback that they pulled it.
Yeah.
And
not everything is going to make the game better.
Exactly. Not everything's going to make the game better. Something is going to... Nobody who builds a board game or a card game and then turns it digital, but even the physical or the digital, no one's going to get 100%, yes, everybody loves this.
Yeah.
Oh, right.
The odds of that happening are never out of every time.
Well, same thing with your turn a book into a movie, and the people that love the books are going to complain about everything that got like. Wait a minute, you just took 2 characters and you put them into one, and you gave all the lines of the second character to one character. This, and you've morphed them into one. Why would you do it? Or you just leave somebody out that's important to the story because you just can't have that many characters to develop in a movie.
Exactly. It's almost. On paper, it is detail for detail the exact same thing. Board game to digital, book to movie. You're changing things about a physical object in a physical interaction that is going to take something away but gain something else, but it's not going to quite hit the way the first one did.
Yeah. But on the other side, you're going to have people that love the new that did not know the old.
Yeah,
So if
yeah.
you didn't read the books and you just went and watched the movie and you love it, it's not because you didn't read the book that you love it. It's just because you didn't have exposure to it. So if you only get exposure to the video game and you never played the physical board game, you might love it and then want to go explore the same way you watch a movie and somebody says the books are even better. You go, well, maybe I'll go read them now.
Yeah.
Exactly. It opens you up to another thing.
Yeah, I would say that I sit somewhere in the middle because I do like sitting down and playing a board game, a physical board game, but I do like the ease and the ability to sit down and play with my 5-year-old a game of Monopoly on the Xbox, because sitting down and putting it out and following the rules, like you said, and different things like that can be difficult with a 5 or 6-year-old. But he loves playing it because it's so easy and quick on the Xbox. You can pop through a game fairly quickly.
What would be an interesting thing to do if you were to convert a board game? Because this is one of the problems with like Axis and Allies and Risk and other things is the amount of time it takes to just tediously set up the board game so you can start. If there was a way to just have a touch screen that you could just have a touchscreen table, you load the game, and you just touch the screen to move the pieces, but you're still playing a physical game with the digital.
Yeah.
I think that could be super fun. So I just load what game I want, but I physically touch the screen and move my characters and add things to it. But I don't have to spend a half an hour setting up all of the players, all of the pieces, and putting them on the board to speed up the setup time. I might be more inclined to play the game.
Yeah, a virtual tabletop would probably.
2025 for all we know.
Yeah.
It's 2025 for all we know. That could come out tomorrow.
Because people do that.
Exactly. So I'm putting this out there. So somebody that's in the know, go make it happen.
Captain Gray, your people that you're in touch with in the game developers chat.
Well, I will say there have been lots of ideas in my lifetime that if I would have developed them, like, when I was a kid, I didn't understand why we didn't have coffee singles, and I thought we should be able to have a Keurig and have a single cup of coffee. Why can't you just do that? You can do it with tea.
Yeah.
Why can't you do a coffee? And my mom said, that's a stupid idea. Nobody will ever do that.
Look where we are now.
Thanks, Mom.
Yeah.
I could have been, sitting ready for retirement now if you'd have listened to me.
Thanks, Mom. I could have retired at the age of 31.
Yeah.
Could have retired at
Or
13.
younger. Yeah, exactly. That's hilarious. Yeah.
Probably a little too early for people to catch on to that, but it could.
Some things are before their time, right?
Yeah, plot twist. Flatcap's actually the person who designed the desk in Tron 1982.
Yeah. No, yeah, but people do that for D&D. I've seen like online D&D campaigns that stream and stuff like that, and they've got a giant table with a screen, and they just hit a button and the new map loads that they're playing on that week or whatever. So I can imagine that translating a board game over to that wouldn't be too difficult, but you do lose. The pieces are nice too. You got the little models, the pieces that.
Oh, right. With D&D, I want the little figurines. With Axis and Allies, they're like you're just putting chips underneath a soldier or a tank or a plane. Like whoop-de-doo. I'm not so concerned there.
Yeah. I know specifically too. We're talking about board games, but also card games that have gone digital. The big one that I know that there was the Uno controversy. Because Ubisoft put out Uno, and they added house rules like stacking.
Yeah.
And people tried to say that was an official rule, and Uno had to come out and say it's not an official rule. Well, if it's not an official rule, then why is it in the digital game that allows it to be an enforceable option?
Right.
Like, that's the thing that you're like, okay, if you're not going to make this an official rule in the physical game, then why did you bother putting it in as an option?
Because people do it in the physical game.
Yeah. And then it kind of becomes like a lore almost, right? Like community lore.
Like, I'm all for it. I think stacking's hilarious because you can go like, yes, I finally got this guy. It's a +4. He's on Uno. and then, or he's almost at Uno, and then he just plays another +4, and instead of him going up to 6 cards, the guy next to him gets 8 cards. I think that's hilarious.
Is it similar
Well,
with free parking in Monopoly, where you land on free parking and you get the pot in the middle? Like that's not an official rule. It's a house rule that I think they put it in the rules now that it's an optional thing, right? But it was never an original rule.
Maybe. I don't remember.
I think there's a card that you can draw that would say land on free parking and get it. So I think it was like a by chance card
Okay.
that you could get free parking and win it, but I think it was advanced of free parking and get it. So then it just became if you're on free parking, you get it. Is I think how that developed. But it's interesting, like you talk about the different rules. So I'm a euchre player. Like that's what I play. I card game.
I love euchre.
So if you play euchre, before you sit across from the other team and you deal anything out, you call the rules. Are you playing ace no face? Are you playing farmer's hand? Are you playing screw the dealer? Are you playing, you label all of the rules that you are establishing,
Right.
and then you play. And there are people like, no, I don't want to play that way. So then you choose not to play that way. Or you say, well, I won't play with you then. But, as far as that goes, I did try to do a lot of playing euchre online with other people. The problem I had with that is part of the fun of it was having a partner that I knew. And so with not having a partner that I knew really well, it was like I'm playing with 3 strangers and I don't know my partner. So I don't know if my partner is going to actually, have my back or not have my back. And so for a while, this is like way back in, I want to say 90s that you could play euchre online.
Yahoo games.
So my wife was across the room, and we tried to play with each other and do that. So we were both on the same game as partners, and we could yell across the room at each other it's just like, this is no fun actually. So figuring out how to make it with your partner, that's like, well, now we want to win, but we're cheating, so this isn't any fun either. So I don't know if every game can translate the same way to being digital, but if you want to learn a game and play solo and get really good at it, that might be another option for card games.
Yeah, I think one of the things this person in the article that I was looking at, and I shared it with you guys, was that some of these games that are, you're not even playing it with somebody else. You're just opening up an app and playing Uno by yourself against a computer, or you're playing Monopoly Go or something like that, where it's like, it's just a time killer. It's not even, you know what I mean? And so I think there's kind of that balance that you have to reach of playing with other people. And I think we're in an age now where it's so easy to do voice chat, where back in the day with the euchre on Yahoo Games, you weren't talking to the other person you were playing with. But if you were to play euchre online and you have a voice chat where you're talking with all the people and you're, poking at each other, or you're, hey, no table talk and stuff like that, right? It's more lively and more fun, I think.
Oh yeah, when Facebook was doing games early on and trying to promote those, I remember playing Castle Age, and we had separate side conversation channels. I don't even remember where they were. I was trying to think if it was Discord, but when I went back to look at it, it was like, no, it was before Discord was out. So we had a side conversation channel so that we could have conversations of who was going to attack who when we went to battle against another team. So you're taking them, you're taking them, you're taking them. So we could strategize and but it was all chat based. So you could chat in the game, or we could have another channel stream to be able to chat, which we were, it wasn't like you could cheat because you had no control over the outcome. You could just strategize with what things were going. But you say taking card games and then making them solo. Well, solitaire was, you have one deck of cards, you're sitting there with nothing to do, you play solitaire. Name a computer that you bought in the 90s that didn't have solitaire on the computer. Like, it did. So you could sit there and play cards.
Every computer that I've owned since owning my first computer, I've gone out of my way to make sure it has solitaire on it.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah, it's true.
Especially Spider Solitaire.
Tons of games are solo. Tetris is solo, like if you're not playing two players, but most of the time Tetris is solo. So yeah, I guess there is a time and a place for it too, right? You're sitting in an airport and you want to play a hand of Uno Go or whatever it is on the phone or something just to kill time, then it has its place, right?
Yeah,
Yeah.
but I do agree with the thought of if you're doing something mindless just to kill time, it's probably not beneficial. It doesn't matter if it was a board game that turned into a video game. It doesn't matter if it's just doom scrolling, TikToks
Yeah.
or reels or shorts. It doesn't matter what it is. If what you are doing is just doom scrolling or doom playing to kill time, it's probably not beneficial.
True. Yeah, I guess it depends. It would be different if it was something like a puzzle, like Sudoku or something like that, or something that's actively like working your mind. Yeah, that's true. That's a good point.
Right. But even Sudoku and crosswords and word searches have gone digital. I think I honestly I want as much as there's a lot to say about either against it or for it, you have to appreciate the fact that a lot of these board game companies did not just sit back and let the digital era push them out of the game space.
Yeah, exactly.
But they adapted and they made a standard for themselves to say, hey, we know it's not the same thing. We're going to do our best to make it as close to the same thing. But everyone wants to be on a computer. Here's our version of our game on your computer. So you can play it with your friends anywhere in the world whenever you want.
Yeah.
You as much as you might hate it or love it, you have to appreciate that fact.
Yeah, very true.
Yeah. Well, good. No, that got very lively for a little bit there, especially when we were talking about the Axis and Allies. That was. But,
I don't know why.
but go ahead.
Unfortunately, I do have to go. I do have to transition. I had told someone I'd be there
No
somewhere at a
worries.
specific time.
Yeah.
All
Thanks
I
for
will say
joining
about
us.
I know we're gonna
thanks.
transition to Grok. All I will say is that I think AI should not exist. I will let you fellas take that how you see it.
All right.
But
right.
I appreciate being able to hop in here, and it was good to see you guys again. We'll have to get together again sometime.
Yeah, you as well. Thanks for being here.
Have a good night.
Yep, you guys too.
Well, let me quickly readjust our overlays. There we go. Done. That was easy again. Wow. Yeah. No, I think you had suggested the topic of the AI companions and that, and even since you suggested it, there have been a bunch of new developments on it. OpenAI, the people who make ChatGPT, have said that they're going to open up their platform to more adult style conversations and things like that. And yeah, just curious to hear your thoughts on it.
Well, the interesting thing is that AI keeps growing and developing. And so what it's going to become is still yet to be determined. And I hear both spectrums of it. Yeah. People that are super excited about what it's going to allow us to do. And actually, I heard this, I can't remember where I heard it, but there's a couple of people who have a theory that as AI continues to get exposed to the gospel, because there's that many Christians that are jumping into AI and it's consuming content, that AI might actually become benevolent because it's going to continue to have exposure to the gospel and it's going to keep relying on that. Right. I love that thought possibility. And then there's the other people that think it's going to be the devil and it's going to Skynet and control the world and all of that. And the thing that regardless of where it's starting and the motives of the people creating it, there is the chance for redemption. There is the chance for that. So I know I bring this up to people and they aren't usually aware of this. They may have lived through some of the worship wars in the 80s into the 90s of the guitar being in the church service and the drum set being in there, and that's of rock and roll, and we can't have that in the church. And now there's a lot of churches that have contemporary worship.
Yeah.
But at the time, people thought this was outrageous. We need to just have organ and piano. forgetting that a century, 2 centuries earlier, we had the exact same debates about we cannot have the piano in the church because it's from the bar hall. And before that, I don't remember which the order is, if it's piano first or organ first. I think it was organ first and then piano, but it was the same argument. The organ started in the bar hall. The piano started in the bar hall. The guitar and the drums started in the bar hall. We just keep reliving the same argument. So if the argument is that you can't have internet because internet is of the devil and internet has pornography on there, so the church shouldn't be on the internet, which if you lived through that, you're welcome. That now the churches have suddenly realized we can go online.
Yeah.
So I just think that it's the same potential of AI is going to be the same. Deem it in a lot of ways and use it for benevolent purposes. Even if that's not what it's originally intended to be able to do.
Yeah. I think it can, it's a really tough space to be in as, for myself, as a small creator who has limited resources and funds and things like that. When I want to, say, write a short bit of copy for a Facebook post, like, I'm not a writer. It's not in my tool set, and I can't pay somebody at the drop of a dime and say, hey, can you write me up a Facebook post for this thing? I want to post it today. I don't want to wait a week for it, going on Fiverr or whatever, or find somebody in my community who's skilled in that skill set. And so I find it incredibly handy. Now it takes some work, and I still I feed it in, and then I ask it to write something, and then I look it over, and then I kind of change things to make it sound again a little bit more like me.
So you're treating it as an assistant. You're treating it as an intern. And that's one of the examples that I've heard is you treat it as an unpaid intern that you give instructions to. It's going to come back. You have to double check the work, and then you give it correction of, no, I need this, and you keep doing that.
Right.
The place where I feel really bad about AI is where, like, you get into the arts and creative art, and it's stealing people's creations to create its own things, on those level of things. We need to figure out the morality of that, and we need to figure out the copyright stuff around that, but that's a separate issue, and I think we'll figure that out. I don't know how it's going to resolve itself, but I can't, like you're saying, I can't pay an artist to do something. Yeah. But I've had people that are enjoying the creative process of putting inputs into AI and getting music or scenery or getting little emojis created with using it. Those are some beneficial things. The place that, and I keep hearing people on different sides of this, like, the deep fakes are starting to come out. I don't know what your feed has been like in the last month, but my feed is now filled with Mr. Rogers and Bob Ross. And for a while, it was Stephen Hawking's as well. And so it's Mr. Rogers saying stuff that Mr. Rogers would have never said. And it's Bob Ross painting things that Bob Ross wouldn't paint. Or he's doing happy trees, but he's doing haircuts, and it's happy trees in the back of somebody's head.
Oh, boy.
Or he's face painting, WWE wrestler. He's doing their face painting, and he's painting on their face. So it's like, it's humorous, and you know that it's fake, but like, the thing that I've concerned about is that, what if a deep fake happens in a third world country, and then the power grid goes down, and right before the power grid goes down is some assassination plot or some doomsday scenario that gets spread, and then the communication networks get shut down, and now all of a sudden, what chaos happens within there? But as far as, like, the Western world getting deep faked out, I think we're going to be able to assess that it is a deep fake in a short period of time.
I think
we're going to be able to identify the things that point to it not being real.
I've used this analogy for a couple people, and I'm still kind of rolling around in my head, but, like, we grew up, probably you and I, in a world where your email inbox was constantly flooded with chain letters from your aunts and uncles and
yeah.
things like that of like, just
Yeah,
forward
'cause
this on
they
and
would
10
just
other
pass them
people will,
on,
yeah.
yeah.
And so we've grown up in a world where we've had to assess pretty much daily what's real and what's fake in our email inbox and then in our Facebook messages that we get from somebody who's copied our friend's Facebook profile.
Oh, yeah,
And I
yeah.
think that for me, AI is just it's just a newer version of that. We're growing up, our kids are growing up in a world where it's commonplace and they're gonna have ways to kind of assess, and as long as we're teaching them, I think that's something that parents are needing to do right now is teach their kids, hey, look at this, like this is what's happening online with AI. Here's ways that you can spot it. Here's things you should avoid. I haven't seen a ton of deepfakes like you're saying. My feed is mostly because I tend to dislike and like things and kind of like curate it. So a lot of my things that I get are like funny worship video songs and things like that and different things. But a couple that
Oh,
I've
yeah,
seen
yeah,
that are hilarious are
yeah,
the
I get the mashup songs that,
yeah.
and then I keep getting more of them, and it's usually, "Here, I ruined the song for you," and I'm, like, going,
Oh,
"If this would have been around," and these are the things that went through my mind, like, back when I was in high school, middle school, college, and I annoyed all
yeah,
my friends with doing this stuff. It's like, "Oh my goodness, I coulda," like, here
yeah,
again, like, now you physically can, or I shouldn't say physically, but you can create music mashups and songs. It's like,
yeah.
man, this is what I wanted to do long ago, and now it's happening. I'm not going to participate, but I'm going to enjoy them when I get them.
Yeah.
So,
What it would be like if your parents led worship in the 70s or something like that, or
yeah,
if Praise by Elevation came out in the 70s or something like that, the different versions. But
yeah,
no.
exactly. Take this song and put it in the genre of this other song, which
Yeah.
I used to do. Like I would sing, you know, rock songs to old hymnal tunes.
Yeah.
You know, that'd be the thing I would do. And it's like, what are you mashing that up for? Because I had the tune in my head,
Yeah.
and I didn't want to sing that, so I changed the words. You know, and or I adopted another song and did that. So I mean, I think there genuinely is a need for us to be aware of things, to be cautious about things. There
Yeah.
certainly are going to be job losses. Every technological increase, there's job losses
Hmm.
with things. For instance, I use it to help edit videos because I can use it where it gives me the transcript of things. I cross out the words in the transcript and it does the edit, cut it out
Yeah.
of the
Takes the
video.
video
So
out.
like
Yeah.
that saves tons of hours of time. But it's tons of hours of time of I wasn't going to pay anybody to do it because I couldn't.
Yeah.
So there it can be a savings for people who don't have the ability to afford to do something else. I'm not costing anybody a job. There would be no job that would be happening. You would get the video uncut. That's what would happen.
Yeah.
You know,
It's the
I wouldn't be
same.
able to produce, you know, what I can produce the way I can. It would just be nothing being produced.
Yeah, that's how I feel about the copy. And so like you said with images, like paying an artist to do like a thumbnail or something like that. Like I already wasn't going to pay somebody, excuse me, to do a thumbnail. So I don't know if anybody's losing out, but at the same time, I hear what artists are saying. My stuff is being stolen. And the same thing with copy. Like somebody's copy had to be used to teach that AI how to write my copy for my Facebook post. So
Yes,
there's a moral wrestling there, but at the same time,
absolutely.
I got to get a job done. And so I'm going to try and use the tools that are available
Well,
to me. So
well, if we just stick with the predictive, you know, next letter, next word, all of that, that a lot of it is started from the predictive writing model. Uh, it is really closely like going to all blend together because it's going to continuously predict the same thing. So if you and I give the same prompts and we're asking things, it's going to
yeah,
be like there's no life in this of the creator that is being put into it.
yeah,
So unless I'm giving totally different prompts to try to create, let's just say we both want to do a John 3 passage.
yeah,
If we just ask, tell me what I could post for John 3, It's going to be washed down. There's going to be no flavor to it. We've got to get a lot more specific in it. I want a John 3 passage to reach to middle school boys who are struggling with their dads who are verbally abusive to them. Now I can create something that's unique and targeted. Now, I don't know if there's that group out there. I'm just picking an example off the top of my head. But it's going to be the way that we each engage with it that's going to be the creative part that still has to come from our minds. The same way that if everybody is just given an assignment at school and you're supposed to read The Catcher in the Rye and write a report, well, if everyone in the school ask it to do that
Write
and
me
it's
a
all
report for
exactly the
Catcher in the
same,
Rye. Yeah.
it's gonna all be, you know, a race to the bottom, the narrowest, or everybody sounds the same, so there's no flavor, so you know that people didn't actually create it themselves.
Yeah. 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 It's quite the world we're moving into, but it's exciting at the same time as it's scary, I think, for people. So yeah, I don't know. We kind of veered off the original discussion about companions, but I think probably most of us can agree that
Well,
it's
yeah, we did.
it's
We did.
going in a
Yeah, we
place
just kind
that's
of went
not
more general with. Yeah. Well, and the companion is what is the purpose that you need a companion for?
yeah.
You know, if I, you know, was married for 70 years, lost my spouse, my kids live far away from me, they're busy, they don't you know, message me, I get to talk to them once a week, I'm at home, I'm homebound, what do I do? Uh, you know, do I have someone that can be a companion to me? And I know it's not real, and I don't treat it as real, but I can at least have a conversation with it where my dog, I can't.
Yeah. Actually, mentioning that, now that you say that, somebody who's older, who's lost their loved one, I actually read an article the other day. So the guy, Suzanne Summers' husband, is creating an AI duplicate of her, and with her blessing. They talked about it decades ago, I guess, with some sci-fi author who told them all about how AI was going to blow up in the future and you'd be able to have duplicates of people. And so they decided many years ago that they would feed all of her information into the computer and create. And so they're doing that right now. And you're going to be able to go on like SuzanneSummers.com or something like that, or SuzanneSummers.ai, and chat with her and ask her questions about the books that she's written and her life and different things like that. And it's like, okay, it's interesting.
Yeah.
But yeah,
Well, and think about that. Yeah. Ask, like, put anybody's work into, like, just let's put Shakespeare. Let's put Shakespeare, all of Shakespeare's work in one, and then have a Shakespeare AI that you could ask questions about. Hey, I don't understand why Romeo and Juliet didn't just abscond and leave their families behind. Can you help me understand that? Because, like, why wouldn't they just run away? Their families were both feuding. How about we just leave town? Like, why didn't they do that? Why, you know, who better to
Yeah.
answer that than putting all the collective works of Shakespeare together and seeing if he could answer it? I don't know.
somebody's got to,
Maybe.
somebody's probably got to
Yeah.
police that though, right? Curate it, because who knows if it's going to take an answer from Shakespeare or if it's going to take an answer from a quote from Arnold Schwarzenegger quoting Shakespeare in The Last Action Hero or something, right?
Yeah. Well, and you're right. It would absolutely have to be well, and you can do this. You can do this already, where you can take and you put all the inputs into the AI, and then we've done this with the Church Digital. We call it Lex.
Yes,
so
I heard about that.
And created that. So if you want to know what you know, like you ask a question, it'll give you, here is our answer, plus here are the sources that we used from all of our podcast episodes, from any articles that were written, from any guest speakers that were on, so that you can go find the resource behind it too. And then I think in that way you're creating something valuable, not just here's an answer, here's the answer, and here's the proof of why that's the answer.
Right. Yeah, that's good. That's
interesting though, to hear on the Suzanne Summers. I did not know that was happening. But I could see that. I mean, I could see where people would, like, I lost my spouse. I'd like to have, like, that's even more creative than I was thinking we were ready to do yet, is put all of my spouse's information in there, and, you know, put all my home videos of my spouse in there that we ever had, any writings or birthday cards or Christmas cards in there, and you could get a pretty good view of that spouse to have a conversation. Now, the same thing with any other type of companions that we didn't even get into. You can get obsessed with something that's not real.
Yeah. Yeah.
And treat it as if it is real. And I think we've had a few movies that have addressed that kind of image and mentality, and some of those have been trying to upload somebody's consciousness to the web. I think it goes along in the same lines. It's like, is it that person or is it actually not that person? And I think we have to, I mean,
be careful.
there's a place for it, but we have to be careful.
Yeah. Well, people get obsessed even before AI. People, I don't know. I guess you're talking to a real person in that scenario that I'm about to say, but like writing like pen pals and things like that. You never know.
Oh yeah.
People get wrapped up in communicating with scammers and things too, or people who are pretending to be somebody else online. We're already, in a space where that sort of thing can happen, and you can build up this persona that, doesn't actually exist. And then, so there's a lot of things to be careful with.
Yeah. Now, if you're creating a companion based on a real person with real inputs, I think that's a different thing than like some of these, boyfriend girlfriend bots that are only going to give you the positive things that you want from them, and they're never going to challenge you on things. They're always going to be compliant to your wishes and thinkings. That's not a beneficial thing.
No.
It can be totally harmful and artificial, and like a real person is going to challenge you on things. And if it's just a companion that's there in order to just please you, that's not going to be a beneficial, healthy thing for you long term.
Yeah, agreed. It's a Holiday Inn Express. Oh yeah, Mark. All right. Well, I think we covered everything. Appreciate your thoughts on that. And if anybody has any comments on it, I don't know where they can comment on it on YouTube, where we post our video. Or
well, if anybody is interested in the AI conversation around the church, Kenny Chang is an expert in AI in the sphere of the church. He's going to actually, I'm at Exponential Conference for this week out in San Francisco. Exponential will be in Orlando in March. Exponential Central will be in Chicago in November. So there are places you can go, but he's out there as well. So I'm just saying, Exponential is aware of it. They you can go look up exponential.org. They're a church planting organization. Kenny Chang is an expert in it. There are experts in the Christian field who are addressing this, who are helping you to navigate through it. So I don't know if I'll have time this week to connect with him, because I'm planning on hanging out with Nerd Culture Ministry Summit guys while I'm here.
Nice.
So I don't know if I will here, but otherwise I might in March, and I'm always paying attention to what he and others in the space are saying.
Cool. Yeah. All right. Any places you want to direct people towards, the Church Digital and stuff like that?
Oh, well, the Church Digital is always a great place, but I would say Reach is the next thing that's coming up. And so ReachConf, exactly. Well, I don't have it behind me, but it normally is.
Yeah.
We will be there in Orlando the 6th through the 8th, and it is going to be fantastic. You definitely want to come, hang out, and see your favorite streamers. If you know any of us that are in that realm, come and hang out with us. If you are a streamer, you're going to be missing out if you're not there. I mean, there's so many things going on. That's the next thing on my radar after this week, is to be there. I do have podcasts coming up. I'll be with Hannah's Banana on Friday at noon Eastern on the Church Digital channel on Twitch. And actually before that, there is, I don't have it in front of me, there is a praise and prayer raid train that is going on from Friday morning. I think One Reason is starting that and going all the way through Sunday. So all weekend long on Twitch, praise and prayer. So a dozen, 2 dozen, I don't remember how many people are going to be on there. So Friday is like there's an hour stream for each person, and then it's a raid train. And then on Saturday and Sunday, longer streams for different people. So you can definitely go check that out. I let me see if I can find what it's called here a second.
Yeah, well, you check that. Roman's actually loaded a list of reasons to go to Reach over on the Discord for Reach. Meet 100+ content creators who are Christian, Christian industry speakers from Crunchyroll, Chosen, Chick-fil-A, and TikTok are going to be there giving talks. There's PC giveaway, PC gaming, building, a TTRPG 50-person D&D campaign raid, game shows with cash prizes and a car to give away. There's going to be a 30-piece, 2-time Emmy award-winning video game music orchestra performing, and just so much more. So it's going to be an awesome time. I can't wait to get there and hang out.
Yeah, so it's 48 hours is what it is. So it's the Gospel Takeover presents Prayer and Praise Raid Train. So it starts Friday with One Reason and DL Boykin 7, and then the Rebel Link, and then it'll be me at 11 a.m. And then from there it keeps going. I'm trying to think who else people might know. Mother Goose is going to be on there. I'm watching you people. North Hill Live.
Wow.
DJ, there's plenty of DJs. DEEJ.
Oh, yeah.
DJ Profit, IDJ. So plenty of people. So if you just go look for the Gospel Takeover, if you know One Reason, you'll be able to find it. Oh, Bushido of Christ will be on there. I'm just trying to scroll through and see. There'll be lots of people that if you're around Christian Twitch space, you probably know somebody that's going to be on there.
Yeah, and probably meet a couple new people. So yeah, go check that out for sure.
Yeah, absolutely.
Yeah, well, yeah, Reach is the next thing probably on my radar too. We did our in-person Mario Kart and parental kind of gaming education event October 4th, and that was pretty successful. We had about 36 people there, not counting our volunteers and our speakers.
Nice.
So it was really good and had some really good feedback from parents on how they kind of changed their perspective a little bit on fighting with their kids over gaming. Because for a lot of parents, gaming is a fight. And we believe that it can actually, instead of being a pain point, it can be a blessing in your house and be a connection point. So we're just trying to help connect people and get them out there enjoying time with each other. And gaming can be a part of it, not
It might be a
ripping your
good
house
topic
apart.
for the podcast. Actually, bring that on the podcast and talk about that.
Yeah, we should do that sometime. Maybe we can have one of my board members on or something. Or actually, Chaplin came and spoke at the event, so he might be a good one to have join the conversation.
That would be a good one. Yeah. Cool.
Yeah. Well, that's great. Thank you for joining me and everybody else who joined, and our raid from Warrior and all the people that raided in. And we will see you guys next month. End of November will be our last episode this year. We're going to skip December just to give everybody a break for Christmas, because it would land on like Christmas Eve or something like that, I think, or whatever. So we're going to.
Okay.
Yeah.
I've not looked at December yet. I'm trying to make my way through November and figure out why October is almost over.
Yeah. So. Right. Yeah. No, I kind of looked ahead because I was like, well, if we're going to invite guests on, I don't want to try and book somebody over the Christmas holidays. So we'll skip December and get started in January. But I'll let us do the outro, and I will let you go, Flatcap. And thanks again for joining. Have a great night.
Absolutely. Enjoy it.